All right, let's dive right into one of the greatest scenes in movie history, the train attack from Lawrence of Arabia. Now, this is so much more than just a cool action sequence. It's really a collision of cultures, it's a total crisis of command, and it's the exact moment a man starts to become a myth. So the scene just erupts into pure chaos, but the whole thing is anchored by this one totally stunned line from an American journalist. You know, for the warriors fighting beside him, this is just war. It's what they do. But for him, it's this shocking, almost medieval spectacle, and that huge gap in perspective, well, that's what powers this entire scene. And that outsider's point of view, that brings us to our first big idea here, war as spectacle. Because the second a camera shows up on a battlefield, everything changes. It's not just a fight anymore, right? It's a performance. I mean, you gotta ask, why is a journalist even here in the first place? This guy, Jackson Bentley, he's not just some fly on the wall. His camera, his notebook, these are incredibly powerful tools that are actually shaping what's happening. With every click of the shutter, a messy raid gets turned into a heroic story, and a man gets molded into a legend. And what's wild is that the journalist himself knows it. He gets what's happening. When he asks, "Am I in this?" That's the light bulb moment. He realizes he's not just reporting the story from the sidelines anymore. He's a character in it. He's become part of the myth-making machine. Man, this moment just perfectly shows the massive cultural divide. To the journalist from the West, his camera is a simple tool. It captures truth. But to the tribal leader, Ada, it's a deep, deep violation. He sees it as a machine that can actually steal a piece of your soul. Ada's words say it all. He thinks the journalist is a kind of thief. So the shooting stops, but a brand new fight breaks out almost immediately. And this brings us to the real heart of the scene. Is what's happening payment, or is it plunder? This argument over what to do with the loot threatens to tear down everything Lawrence has worked for. And here it is, the fundamental problem. Lawrence, he's got this British military brain, right? He sees looting and he calls it what it is to him, theft. But for the tribal fighters, this is their salary. It's not some extra perk. It's the wage they've earned by putting their lives on the line. It's the way it's always been done. The consequences of this argument are immediate, and they are absolutely devastating. Lawrence's authority just evaporates. Poof, gone. When his British superior asks him how many men he's going to have left to keep fighting, the number is a total guess, and it is shrinking by the second. 200, maybe, probably a lot less. See, you're dealing with two armies that run on completely different rules. The British soldiers, they get a paycheck, they have orders, they have to stay. But the tribal warriors, for them, the plunder is the contract. So when Lawrence denies them that, he's basically tearing up the deal, and they're totally free to just pack up and go home. This whole crisis just shatters his military authority, which forces him to make a huge pivot. If he can't be a commander anymore, what can he be? He has to find a totally new way to lead. And that brings us to our final section, the making of a legend. The situation is as bad as it gets. His men are literally walking away. The incredible victory they just had is turning into a total disaster. His army, the very thing that gives him power here, is dissolving right in front of his eyes. So what does he do? What's his move? He can't order them to stay. He can't pay them with money he doesn't have. So how on earth does he get control back when all the normal tools of leadership have completely failed him? He does it with a story. He does it with myth. After walking through a hail of gunfire, someone asks if he's hurt, and he doesn't give a military answer. He gives a legendary one. This isn't a command. It's not an order to stay. It's him publicly building his own myth, making himself seem invincible. And he delivers the line directly to the one person who can broadcast that story to the entire world. And that leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. In this critical moment, and maybe for his entire campaign, what was the real source of his power? Was it his British military rank and his smart tactics? Or was it the incredible myth he built around himself? So I'll leave you with this. Was T.E. Lawrence a leader, or was he a legend?